You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the October 4th meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
You ready?
Yes.
I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board for Wednesday, October 4th. Can I have a roll call, please, Madam Secretary?
Dennis Britton,
Here.
Angie Deitch Nelson, Angie Nelson Deitch, not present. Betsy L. Sesser, here. James Milowitz,
Here.
Laura Henderson, I'm here. Mary Nell Murphy, here. Tim Werner,
Present.
Dahlia Segas is on medical leave.
Right.
And welcome to our guests.
Okay, do we have any comments on the agenda before we move forward?
Yes, Mr. President. I suggest that we have our public comments first, because I know as intriguing and, wonderful as our meetings are, that you may want to, talk first at the top of the agenda, and then we can move on. So I move that we have public comments first.
Okay, so that is a request to move comments number 11 up to item number 3, correct?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Public comments. Do we have any public comments?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Please introduce yourself and give your address and have the floor.
Thank you so much. My name is Gina Martin. This is my husband, Fred Tompkin. I understand you're all volunteers in the position, so I just wanted to say thank you for that. We became residents of Michigan City about 4 months ago. We live on...
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. We love it here. We really love it here. We moved, we're on Old Grand Beach Road. Parallel to Route 12, and we moved into new construction. There are about 8 or 9 homes, just
Between El Portal.
I know exactly which ones.
Yeah.
12 as well.
Since you're at an angle, it's hard to say north or west or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things we love about the property, we're on 2.5 acres, is the trees. Shortly after we moved in, we received a certified letter from an engineer from BF&S Civil Engineering Office, sent to us on behalf of the city of Michigan City, and he's an appraiser apparently, and it looks like what they're going to do is acquire 15 feet of the front of all of our properties. And my understanding is that it's to extend the bike path that has been in the works.
Oh, the Singing Sands Trail, which is part of the Marquette Trail, yeah, okay.
Yes. Which we don't have a problem with that at all. It'd be, nice to have a bike path. We're both cyclists. The issue we have is we have probably 100-year-old oak tree within that 15-foot, and I know that my other neighbors also have oak trees within that 15-foot land that they want to acquire, and so I'm absolutely assuming that these trees are going to come down.
How, in that 15-foot space they're taking, where is this tree located? Is it closer to your property, or is it closer to the road?
It's about right about in the middle.
Of course, that makes it really easy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I did take measurements, the road to the 15 feet. I think it was really right about 7.5, so it was right there. And, and we've looked at where they would potentially build a bike path. We don't know the width of the bike path.
The trail, I think, is 10 feet wide.
10 feet wide. When we were
Minimum. It may be 12. I know it's 10 feet wide from the Amtrak tracks downtown to all the way across. So I think that's the minimum that federal government is looking at for trail widths.
Right.
And that's probably what they do there, so they want 10 feet in the middle of that 15 feet and then have some area for grading off each side.
Yeah, it seems like it's, that's kind of in line with other bike paths that we've been on in the area, so.
And we spoke to the appraiser, we called him first, just to see what he recommended.
Good.
He actually recommended talking to an engineer, with the city to get more information, but he said, he said, this probably isn't gonna happen anytime soon. We didn't know because we're new
New.
homeowners
Yeah.
that we received the letter and everyone else received this letter a year ago, or did we all receive letters? So I think first we just wanna see if you knew anything about it, if you heard anything.
I will say that my knowledge is very fresh today since I just heard about this trail and some of the changes of routes off of US 12 and going north of the tracks and that. I didn't hear about this one. We were dealing more with, they were in their Notre Dame Catholic school and church there. That was a meeting that NDOT had with the designer and a couple other people, so I was involved in that. So that's first. But I would recommend talking to Brad Minnick, who's a city engineer who BFS recommended, it sounds like. See if there's a possibility. How much room is there beyond from the tree to the front of your house, and how comfortable are you with it? Are you 30 feet, 40 feet? Are you? If the trail shifted beyond the tree,
We
somewhat.
would be completely comfortable if they wanted to take extra property to have the trail
Trail swoop
around
around
the
the
tree.
tree.
And be fine with
That
that.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
That would,
Split the trail around the tree,
yeah,
or just go around.
because they're gonna need to coordinate the acquisition with you, so that's one of the
Yeah,
items you could bring up for
okay,
ease of acquisition for the trail is we won't stand in the way of this acquisition. We're happy with it if you can move it away and save the tree.
okay, all right, so they would potentially be open to a conversation about that.
Yeah, and this particular, I mean, Butler Fairman Seaford does a lot of design work all over the state of Indiana. I know that, so
Okay,
they probably have encountered a similar situation in other places.
okay,
And would generally, if the homeowner is interested in saving a tree, they would be happy to try to, if they can, do it to help you do that. So Brad, I don't have Brad's number. He's with Haas Associates here in town. He's the engineer under contract for the city of Michigan City.
we can look them up.
So look up Haas Associates Engineering and ask for Brad and see if he can meet you out there and he can kind of walk through things with you on it.
And Haas is H-A-A.
H-A-A-S, yeah.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
Anything else?
Yeah.
No, that was pretty much it.
I did look at the agenda, there's some other interesting things in there, but
You're
You're welcome to
certainly
stay.
welcome to stay.
that's the Arbor Day where they have the trees.
Okay.
But, well,
We'll be talking about that all the way to Arbor Day, every meeting. So you don't necessarily need to stay now. You can, if you have other things to do, but yeah,
And there is a Facebook page too where we
Yeah.
try and, keep updated, and it's
Oh,
just
okay.
Michigan City Tree Board.
Okay, all right, very good.
Also,
Yeah.
you can see this meeting, he's filming it
That's true,
now.
that's true.
It'll be on Alco TV in a day or two.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can watch the whole boring meeting if you can stand it.
Is it on
All right.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
You can just Google the date and Michigan City Tree
Tree
Board
board,
again.
yeah.
Oh, very helpful, okay. Thank you
All
very
right.
much for your time.
Thank you very much, and good luck saving our
And thanks
trees.
for letting us
Yeah,
know
yeah.
about this
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
we do have a bike map from 2012, and at that year, it showed this bike path was proposed.
Yeah.
So it's been proposed for a very long time.
Yes, it has.
Very, very long time.
We don't know if it's now moving forward in a more aggressive path, or it's gonna take 10 more years. We're
It's
just gonna wait and see.
Piece by piece acquisition, like in front of your house.
That's
So
what's happening.
the main discussion we had today was the city of Michigan City has had a 6 or 7 year contract with Amtrak for designing the crossing of the trail just west of town near the NIPSCO cooling tower.
Oh, yeah,
Where the
that's
tracks
little-
cross there as
yeah.
well. Well, the trail just ends on both sides of the Amtrak right away because we haven't ever been able to come up with a deal. So
Okay,
And NDOT's plan is to do a road diet of US 12 and make it from 4 lanes to 3 lanes. I think you see some of the turn lanes already
yes,
near Notre Dame Church and that closer to your home.
yes,
That's gonna be contiguous 3-lane section, the way it's planned now with NDOT, all the way out to past the church, almost, they might even go all the way to 212.
Right.
So we'll see how that actually turns out. But
Okay.
since there's a road diet, we think we can get the trail in the northmost lane, crossing the Amtrak tracks now and not have to deal with the Amtrak at all. So we're gonna see if moving the road over to just 1 lane from the center line and that there'll still be room for a trail because right now people are doing that anyway on their bikes. They're getting off crossing the gravel shoulder, getting on the road, crossing the tracks and getting back on the trail.
Oh, yeah, good stuff.
So if we can have the road shifted over and allow actually a little bit of a lane for bicycles to use, that'll be
That sounds good.
a bonus. So that's what we were talking about today.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
So thank you.
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much.
All the best.
I'm gonna check that out.
All right, any other public comments? Yes. Please introduce yourself, your address, and have the floor.
Dominic Yankee, 904 Willow Spring Drive. During my first interview with the tree board in August 2022, at that time Dennis Bertain and Betsy Elsa Esser were not members, I believe. I asked them to let me know about whether I got the position by spring 2023, as I wanted enough time to pursue other employment opportunities or apply for colleges to further my education if I didn't receive the position. Timothy Warner said I would hear back way before then, and I would know by the end of 2022. None of the other tree board members corrected him. I didn't hear back from him that year, and only found out that they recommended Nicole after she was hired. After my second interview with the tree board in March of 2023, I sent the following email to Timothy Warner on Wednesday, April 5th at 3:45 p.m. Greetings, I hope all is well. I'll be graduating within the next few weeks, and I'm curious as to where I stand with the forester position. Could you please get back to me at your earliest convenience? He replied on Wednesday, April 5th at 3:51 p.m. Dominic, we are still working on it. I am out of the area this week, but we'll follow up with the other board members and the mayor when I get back, and we'll follow up with you later next week upon my return. He deceived me into thinking that he was working with the mayor and not with me. In reality, the tree board had already delivered their letter of recommendation for Nicole Messicar. This is proven from the following city council minutes. Correspondence was received in the clerk's office on April 4th, 2023 from Tim Warner, president of the Michigan City Tree Board, regarding the Michigan City Arborist recommendation. So I emailed him on April 5th, but he said that they were still working on it. And on April 4th, they received correspondence that Tim Warner and the tree board had recommended Nicole Messicar. It took Mr. Warner until the end of April, only 2 weeks before I graduated, to send me a letter stating that the tree board chose another candidate. The letter said that in a few years, and with more experience, I would be perfect for the position. I would later deduce that this was likely a veiled reference to my age. I declined to apply for a scholarship that I was offered.
Excuse me, sir. It has
Because I was
nothing,
glad
Dominic,
after
listen to
the
me.
tree
It
board
has
had
nothing
already
to do with your
chosen-
age. It has everything to do with your experience,
Excuse me,
to
sir.
recommend another
James
candidate.
Melowitz said, aren't you a little young for this position? Excuse me, I mean inexperienced. Well, continue, Dominic.
Yeah, please.
Oh, boy.
Also, as a result of his deceit, I was unable to apply to Purdue Northwest in time to be considered for scholarships. I also nearly missed out on summer employment, but luckily no one else applied for the summer intern position with the Michigan City Park Department. After Nicole was fired, I reapplied for the arborist position, but Tim allegedly refuses to consider me, even though I have the bachelor's degree in biology, plant background, and supervisory experience the position requires. During my second interview in March, James Mellowitz said the following to me: "Aren't you a little young? I mean, inexperienced for the position?" Though he corrected his slip up, I truly believe he didn't recommend me because of my age. I also found out that he will not consider me now that the position is reopened, even though I exceed the requirements of the arborist/forester position. Based on his previous rude comment about my age, I was 22 at the time of his comment. I can only assume that he is refusing to consider me for the position based on my age because my education and experience exceed the minimum requirements for the position.
Which I approached you and Laura at the farmer's market and told you Dominic was very interested in that position, yet he was still in college.
Excuse me, could you
And
identify?
had no
Yeah,
could you
experience
identify yourself
and give us your
whatsoever
address,
as an
please?
Could you introduce
arborist.
yourself?
Introduce
And-
yourself and give us your address, please.
My name is Shelley Ann, and my address is 904 Willow Springs Drive, Michigan City, Indiana.
Is this something that should be discussed with
It's- we can't
HR?
This is something that needs to be
I'm
told.
sorry, I'm not sure you heard me.
I brought this up with HR, and in the state of Indiana, if you're under the age of 40, Age discrimination
I
is
mean, the
not
whole
protected.
discussion, I mean.
No, this whole discussion needs to take place because the way Dominic was treated was very irresponsible for older adults that knew better than treating him that way. When Dominic applied for this position, you knew he was still in school and he had zero experience. And you still encouraged him and led him on a couple weeks before graduation, which he asked you, the one thing he
So,
asked you not to do.
ma'am, what
You
are
did.
you here to ask us for?
We're not here to ask you for anything. We're here to tell you that you hired the most political, you overlooked Dominic for the most political person in LaPorte County, which was let go from her job that she was on for years for political reasons.
She was not rehired for the person.
So,
Dahlia Zagas voted if the salary increase was to take place for the arborister, that they would be a licensed certified arborist. None of that happened. I'm taking all of this to city council and we're gonna see if we can get Dahlia to fit the bill for some of Nicole's paycheck that she was paid with the city funds.
Okay, well.
And I'm glad you think it's funny.
Thanks for your input. I don't know what to say.
We've made a decision, we're all volunteers on this board. We've had discussions with all the board members and it was decided. And as far as personnel matters go, we can't discuss that in a public meeting.
The
So
way,
if you would like to get together in executive session, we can set up an executive session and you can come in and tell us the whole
we
story.
may do that again
Yes.
after I speak to city council with my
Please
concerns.
do. Please
But
do.
it was
We-
very
we-
disgusting how that whole situation was.
There was no
handled.
situation, there was no politics involved. We are not a political group.
It's not that there was politics involved, but during my second interview, the tree board members, guys, warned me that the arborist job is a political position, and yet you recommended the most political candidate possible. You didn't research your candidate
I don't
and recommended the
think we
hire of
should
Nicole
All right, this is
Escobar,
going beyond.
Which had zero experience.
who previously called the mayor racist. And on
members of
other
the board, I would
occasions,
suggest that we not respond
Oh,
in
no,
any
we
fashion
is
to
getting
this.
very-
Okay?
No, we
Yeah.
can't have
No.
a discussion like this
This is-
out of.
It can only be an executive session,
I
right?
would suggest that if you have a complaint that you submit it in writing to the board.
There's been some
Please.
submitted, yes. And like I said, we're here to tell you that the way Dominic was treated was very disgusting from a bunch of older adults that know better. Had you just been an adult and told him that he wasn't gonna be considered for the position instead of dragging
As
it
soon
on
as we knew when he wasn't gonna be considered, I sent the letter.
after
that was-
Nicole was already hired, give me a break. I just wanted to warn you.
Thank you for your input.
Oh, you're very welcome, and I'm sure this matter isn't finished.
No, I'm very sorry that this has happened to you, Dominic. I'm speaking to you. And I am also, as a relatively new member of this board, somewhat frustrated at the pace of our decision-making. And some of this is our fault and some of it is the fault of the personnel department, I believe, where we don't always get resumes on a timely basis. And in fact, we've been interviewing other people. So I'm sorry it's come to this, but there's no point in discussing anyone else in the past who was hired and
Or fired.
that is not. We didn't fire her.
That's-
No, the mayor did.
Betsy,
We know all about
Yeah,
it.
I don't think we should get into an engaged conversation with them.
All right, I'm
If
just.
they have a written complaint they want to make, fine.
And it's
But
been
this is
filed, and
pointless
we were here to give
to
you notice
engage
that
in an argument.
we're
It
going
is
to
really
the city
pointless.
council and
Okay.
gonna
Thank you.
ask for answers.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Any other
sure,
public
talk to
comments?
Dahlia.
Public comments? Hearing none, public comments is closed. All right, next item is approval of minutes for September. Has anyone had a chance to look at the minutes and have any comments?
Yes. I have one thing.
I looked at the minutes. We looked at the minutes.
Let's
I wasn't there, so I didn't-
well, we went to house at the meetings.
Is that his mom?
Yes.
Under Arbor Day Tree City designation maintenance, it says, community grant was received. It will, and received it and will pick up in November. Well, in fact, it was picked up in October, so I think we didn't say November,
No.
so I think that should be
Modify that.
October.
Yes. Good catch on that.
Okay. Any other changes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes as modified?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I abstain, because I wasn't.
And one abstention, so make that noted in the minutes. So,
One abstention.
yeah.
Oh, because you wanted to.
Yep. All right, Secretary Treasurer's report and claims for September. Do we have that?
I don't remember seeing
I
it.
didn't see anything in the email.
Oh, yes, you got the email because you responded to me.
Yeah, when was that?
It was the
Probably
same
the same
email
as
that
every
has
other
the, minutes in it,
See, now I'm looking.
but let's see. There's one.
More minutes. Is it before the 25th of September? Anyway. All right.
Thank you.
I
I think
have a,
those are two different things.
Oh, okay.
I can't, I don't look at numbers that small.
Oh, I see.
Doesn't mean much to me right now. I've got a question, speaking of money. When we get the money from the grant, where is it going to be going?
Well, that's a big,
That's a
There's a whole nother topic,
We're not
but
there yet.
wait till we get to.
Those are different numbers.
That's new business.
Got it.
What are we supposed to do with this budget report?
Review and see if the year-to-date numbers seem to match what our year-to-date transactions are. And from me looking at it right now, they do. Our $403.90 matches.
Okay.
Big bucks.
Yeah, I don't see anything out of the usual and that I have any questions on. Anybody else? Do I have a motion to approve the budget performance report for September?
I so move.
Do I have a second?
So second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you. All right, communications. Item revised 6 on our agenda. Email from Don Prisbalinski.
Actually, that's the same one that I talked about last month. And I actually finally got back to him.
Can you remind us of what that was?
I talked about trees being cut down along Franklin from between 11th Street and
Right.
Cool Spring. So I kind of did an informal survey. I'm not trained to do such things. But yeah, there were a lot of stumps. And there were a lot of spaces where a tree probably used to be, you couldn't really tell. And there were a lot of spaces where a tree probably could go.
But not all recent activity.
Not real recent. The stumps are old. I don't know how old, but they're old. So, and he was asking when we're going to replant. So I sent him this, and it said the tree board was hoping that with the new grant, we would be able to replace those trees before too long. So,
Which is absolutely correct, what we want to do, yes.
did I send you this?
I did not see that.
I want to see that.
Just from casually looking at it, it doesn't look like anything was cut down within the last 2 years.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
it's been around.
The stumps look kind of old.
Yeah.
Somebody saved money by not grinding them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a few of them were rounded up because there's a few places where you can't see a stump that there probably was. But- And the other thing I noticed was those trees are mostly, if not all, Japanese lilac trees.
Yeah.
None of them look real happy. And they're short trees, even though the electric line is on one side of the street and not on the other side. It's still short trees on on the free side, so.
Could some of those old stumps be from ash trees?
I don't think there were ever any ash trees on Franklin.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so, at least not that part. I think maybe along the pine there were ash trees. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I also received a phone call from Karen of Michigan Tree Board, which I believe is newly formed. And they're interested in kind of communicating with us. They're working on making a plan for their canopy and wanted to talk to a more experienced tree board.
Was she at the,
Tree
nursery?
stewards?
How did they pick us out of all the tree boards?
Well,
I don't know, I don't know.
let's answer Tim's questions first. Do you know if she was at the NERC
I think-
2-day class, tree stewards class?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so, but I think she
She's from
was.
Michigan, actually.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think she
Oh, no,
would
she
be
wasn't.
Indiana's.
Yeah, okay.
Well, one of
Michigan,
us
Michigan,
made an
not Michigan.
appearance for about 15 minutes at the tree stewards, and I wanted to talk about tree care, but they said, oh no, talk about the tree board and your experience there. So that was
She
like,
did a very nice job of making us look almost good, so.
it was hard
Too
because,
bad of a job.
you know, we've suffered some setbacks here and here, and some good things. Yeah, a couple of people thought that our experience was better than what they have going on.
Wow.
They said, you have how many people on the tree board? We only have 3.
Well, it could always be worse. We've had challenges, but we've accomplished some things, and that's really good to know. So, yeah, I think we can be proud of what we've managed to accomplish, and we'll do more in the future.
Right.
We've learned from it, and we're starting for it.
Thank you for doing that, being
I
on
don't
the
think I'm
panel.
ever gonna, that wasn't even a panel.
It was just you.
It was me.
Yeah.
And most of the people were asleep by then, or got up to the restroom.
I was in the back row and I could see the people weren't sleeping there.
They were awake. They were sleeping with one eye open, maybe, but
Were you there?
No, she was not there.
Tim was there.
It's just the two of us representing Michigan City. But no, it was a good meeting, and the discussion of the planting too, when we picked up the trees, was good too. That's the second year I've done it, so. And that's where I met a couple of people from tree boards, and they asked about the grant that we applied for and received, because it was just.
Everybody
identified
knows.
them. And I told them that I would send them, but both of them, I got their email, and I got copies of our application here.
Okay.
I told them I'd send them our application, and they
Uh-huh.
could see what a successful one is, but
Right.
we'll talk about that a little more
Okay.
later.
Yes, and one other thing I picked up was a couple of individuals, I think they were trying to cultivate us as possible employers for, not to be arborists, but to do tree surveys, the tree inventory. Because that's number 1 on our
Grant list.
to-do list.
Yeah.
And so a couple of people came up to me and said, oh, I've done a lot of tree inventory.
And that's one of the things Phil Graff does.
Hire me.
Phil Graff.
I see.
Phil came to our meeting. He was there. Yeah, there were a lot of good contacts made at
Yes.
these two gatherings, both the planting and the delivery of the trees, and at the tree steward following a week later. So, any other communications from anyone?
Well, just informally, I ran into somebody from another tree board in Rochester, Indiana, so.
Did it hurt?
Oh, the guy from Rochester?
Running into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy from Rochester, he's the one who said he only had Rochester, Indiana?
Yeah.
He said he only had 3 people on the tree
I
board.
believe it,
Yeah.
because he mentioned like that he and another person were basically acting as the fourth.
Very
They were there,
small
yeah, they were,
town.
yeah.
the tree boards vary from community to community in terms of how many people are on them and what powers they have, how often they meet, whether they actually do anything,
Yeah.
or whether they just sort of sit back and listen to the staff talk about what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Some of them have staff, some of them have not, like us, have nothing.
And in small towns, look at the 25 trees they have.
Yeah.
So I think it really varies. I mean, Indianapolis has a tree board that meets once every 2 months and does absolutely nothing. Has no authority to do anything.
Well, and you know this is all taped.
Are you on that board?
I am.
That's what I thought.
But it's
Okay.
very different. And I know it's not because they lack the desire to do anything, it's just the way the board is constituted. And that's the,
Okay, and then I'll mention that I do have a contact on the Long Beach Tree Board in case you wanna, coordinate it all with them.
Okay, great. All right, committee reports, we don't have a arborist, but we do have a few things to talk about. Anything new with relation to our Facebook page and that needs to be discussed?
I will admit, I've been out of the country, just returned yesterday,
That is
so
no
I've
excuse.
not done a thorough,
Facebook
in my
is
absence,
global.
were you able to go out and look at it, Jim?
the Facebook page?
Yeah,
I have looked at it.
And
And it's great.
any messages or communications on there?
None that I've noticed.
Okay, all right, well,
Have
that's
you
a
got-
report on the Facebook
There you
page.
go.
Have you gotten any put the pictures up of our tree planting?
Again, I returned yesterday from,
And I will get pictures to our wonderful Facebook goddess here to make sure those things get.
and then I shall post them.
We have some great
Thank you, Jim.
I will
pictures.
get those to you.
Because, by the way, that was a great planting. We planted 9 trees and in superb locations with very grateful homeowners, actually.
That's good to hear, very good.
And that was good. It was a good day.
Well, I still am gonna follow up, because Tim gave me the map of where everything was, and that's something I can do tomorrow and Friday.
Oh, great.
And make sure that they're watered, have sufficient mulch, and haven't been run over, et cetera.
Yes, I noticed the 2 we planted at the beginning at the church.
Yeah.
There across the street from me. Their maintenance guy the mower has run over the mulch pile.
Oh.
I've gotten into the tree, but, so I've been back out and cleaning that up a couple
Okay.
of times. So,
This says press releases as well. Can we talk about that for a minute?
yeah,
Absolutely.
Have we put together a press release on our grant?
we have not. Yes, I-
Actually, didn't they send us sort of a template or a model press release
Did
when
they?
we were informed of the?
Yeah, and I think there was, it was suggested that our city council liaison might be the one.
Angie did say she was gonna do it, I don't know if she
Yeah.
I
did.
don't know if she did or not.
I think she would have copied us ahead.
She has
She's
other
pretty
things.
busy. I mean, I really think that's important for us to do. This is
Oh,
a huge
yes,
thing for us,
yes.
and we gotta crow about it a bit here. And I would be happy to work on putting something together. If you could
Well, you
send me that template and the back.
Oh, I don't have, I don't know, it's pretty far back, but when we got the announcement, there was a link
List. of-
Yeah,
to a press release, a sample press release.
Right, yes.
And you would just fill in the blanks, I guess.
Well, I think
I-
rather than wait
So
for
you
somebody else to
probably-
do it, we ought to get
You,
it.
you,
Oh, yeah.
you are now the press release committee, so I will get that email to you with the link and get that sent
All right.
to you.
I'll run my final draft by you first before I send it out, and then I'll send it to the local.
Newspaper.
I have a list from the last time I sent out a release that nobody ran, like the Michigan City Paper and the Beecher, and I think there's a radio station that covers our area.
Uh-huh.
WEFM and WIMS.
And actually, some of the bigger papers that, what's the,
Times.
Northwest Indiana
Northwest
Times.
Yeah, because I've read press releases from other communities that got the same grant.
yeah,
And it's already public information.
Yeah.
right. And there's no reason we have to wait for
No,
anybody
we
else to
certainly
do.
don't.
You probably were waiting for me to bring up Birdtown again, so I will. But when I did provide information to the city on that, they've got a press release to certain public, entities like newspapers and radio and all of that, and they rolled that out.
Oh, who is it that you do that to?
Chris you know.
Chris Yagowski at the mayor's office.
Oh, straight to, and then he disseminates it?
Yeah,
Okay, I could try
that was
that.
my.
I could
You
do
should
that.
definitely
Yeah.
put him on the list, but I would not rely on him to.
I'm just saying there's something in place.
Yeah, I mean, if he already has a system where he's feeding that stuff to the
And so I don't
media,
know if maybe some media places are waiting to come from, you know, the mayor's
Official city
office or
hall,
not.
right.
I don't know.
Well, I just don't want to get bollocked up in the process.
Exactly.
Right.
I will get you that link once I,
Okay, and I'll work on it.
yeah.
Definitely.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Anything
Okay.
else? Public relations.
The previous thing, we didn't finish up with Ed Outreach. The farmer's market is coming up this Saturday, the 7th, and
Who will be there?
I think
I
it's
can be
Tim,
there.
Laura, and Dennis.
I am
I
not gonna
can
be able to
be
be there.
You're
I'm
not?
out of town.
Okay,
In fact, I have a tree to give away.
good.
Somebody gave
Dennis, will
me
you be there?
a baby
I
tree.
plan on being there a lot. It's gonna depend on the weather,
Okay,
because if it's dry, I'll be bringing Bella, and there's a blessing of the animals at 10:30.
yes, that's,
If it's
Really?
wet, yeah, over at Trinity.
yeah.
So I'll bring my big Bernese Mountain Dog,
My
a few of them at.
Animals can
But if
use
it's
that.
raining, there's nothing worse than a 130-pound wet Bernese Mountain Dog.
And she
Okay,
is
so
beautiful.
we know
I have met her. She's
Laura
beautiful
and
dog.
Betsy are definitely,
I am
No, I'll
definitely
definitely
going to
be there. It's just rain or
But not
shine
if it
will
rains.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if it rains, I'll be there without the dog, but then
Okay,
I'll
so
have
you're
to
gonna be
run
there,
and get her and
What
then
time is the blessing of the animals?
10:30.
and I won't be able to be there this Saturday.
I may be able to be there for a short time at the beginning. What time does this start at?
8 to noon.
Okay.
Well, I will endeavor to be there
Do you
by,
have a
no
bunch
later
of
than
stuff that I
8:30.
need to
I
pick up?
do have a bunch of stuff.
Okay,
I'll probably bring it over after dinner tonight, if that's all right.
okay,
I'll go home and just drop
Yeah,
it
we might
off
as
before
well-
9 o'clock.
sure.
Okay.
do, distribute what we can.
And if you
Can
can
we-
take these banner and the flag now after the meeting.
Oh, okay, yes, great.
But I will not be able to provide my table on Saturday, so you'll need a,
I'll need to bring my little tables.
if it was lightweight, I'd leave it out for you guys to use, but it weighs a ton, so.
Yeah, I know. I'll bring my own chair.
There you go. Okay, so farmer's market this coming Saturday will be our last farmer's market of the year.
That's right.
All right, the next item, Arbor Day Tree Giveaway orders for 2024 trees. I have here, which I wanted to give to each one of you a copy, is our current spring tree order form.
Boy.
So if you will all kind of look through that and,
The third page has the species on it, huh?
yeah,
Okay. But it sounds like, Laura, you may have seen online that some of these are not available any longer.
yeah, he even said that in the,
So,
in his email, I think.
so
Okay,
we're in, our trees come from Jasper Pulaski?
Yes.
we pick them up here.
Okay,
They're grown at Valonia, but we pick them
We
up
pick them
at
up at
Jasper
Jasper
Pulaski.
okay.
And the third page has the species if we want to pick that out. I guess our next item.
Yeah, I guess the first question is, what is our budget for this year? What money do we have to spend on these things, and how much do we want to? That $403 that was in our account is accessible for purchase. I don't remember how we did it last year in the
We
original.
got
I just gave away my papers, so.
Oh,
So,
here, this.
will any of the grant money be
Where's the other
able,
There's lots of these.
will any of the grant money be able, or do we have to come up with the money now, or,
Yeah, we're ordering
It's separate from the
soon.
grant.
Yeah,
okay, but, can the grant reimburse that fund?
I don't think. it doesn't seem
this
clean up.
we have to talk about the grant later, so.
Okay. Got it.
We need to come up with meeting with.
Well, we did 1,000 trees. I think the first question is how many trees we will get.
I think less than 1,000 would be wise.
It was a lot of trees.
It was a lot of trees.
700,
And we gave them all away, most of them away, didn't we?
Yeah, we gave everything away.
Well, we have $400.
Okay. I mean, I would be
I
fine
don't
with
know if any of this
700 or
other
800
stuff.
trees.
Oh, same here, I think 700 would
700
be
sounds like a
good
good-
number.
So there's several different bundles of trees that were listed this year, which I haven't seen that on the order form before near the bottom of the list right by
Oh,
your
yeah,
hand. I
10
think
each of
Betsy-
the following for wildlife, for
Yeah.
example. American plum, black cherry, black gum, black choke cherry, common choke cherry.
I don't like that because then we don't have them separated necessarily according to what they are.
They will be, there'll be 10 in a
Right.
packet, I think. Yeah, so there'll be
Yeah.
all these packets.
Then we got 10 different packets or whatever.
Well, we've had that before. But they're not gonna be 100 trees each, they're only gonna be 10 trees in each bundle.
Where are we getting where are we getting the money? I'm trying to figure this out, which I can't hardly read, and I don't understand anything.
Well, there's two funds, one is I was gonna
This
ask,
that we have this is $403.90.
how do we add to that fund?
This,
Say if
this is,
anybody gave us a
Donation,
Spend the
donation.
donations, yeah.
this is a donation.
Right, so let's say somebody came up with, I don't know, $100 at our, at the,
Farmers markets.
farmer's market. That could go into that?
Yes, yes.
And who goes to the bank or goes to the city hall to put that, oh, you do that?
I have done it, but I think I gave you the thing last time. I don't know if you,
Does anybody remember what we spent last year?
Well, it was 1,000 and they're about 39 each, no. Last year,
but the
36.
prices are on these.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see that.
so I think there was probably about $360, $400
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah,
Okay, so we have roughly the right amount of money?
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
we don't wanna do 1,000 trees this year, I mean, we
Right.
certainly, it'll be less than that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the sooner we order, the more likely we are to
yes,
get what we want.
yes. I think we need to order right away.
Now, do we do these trees have to be, can they go anywhere on the private property?
Yes. Yeah,
They
these are-
don't have to be on the
It's
street?
not like our grant requirement. We're just
Okay.
buying these trees for the residents to plant on their
And
property.
lawns.
My only
Okay.
suggestion is that we have a number of pines, because I think people react
People
I
like
think we should
that.
get the white
of
ones.
the seedlings.
I think we should get the younger ones that are cheaper.
Yeah, but they're smaller.
Yeah, that's fine.
The bigger ones are
They're
more
easier
likely
to
to,
plant. Smaller trees are easier to plant.
yeah, but they don't,
These are
they're
all
less
very
likely
small
to
trees.
grow though, Laura, than.
No, they're not. If you can
If you
plant
water
it
them,
right,
yeah.
Well,
and water it,
that's a
they
big,
will
Well, that's
grow.
just, but they are more vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
than
You have
our
to
grant
protect them.
exactly, we're talking about people who don't necessarily plant a lot of trees who are taking these. So my philosophy, my suggestion would be, let's get the trees that are the most likely to grow when planted by people who don't have a lot of experience planting trees.
Well, I think we should get a selection of evergreens, whatever you want, whatever we can get.
Okay, now this is the list, this is the online list, and it's a lot shorter than
Yeah,
this
much-
list. And I'm
Okay,
assuming it's because the
Availability.
things that are not on here are
Can you-
gone.
can you read us the online list and maybe?
I think I've got it connected, it's in there.
Oh,
It's like the last.
I can't read that.
yeah, that's hard.
Oh, is that part of this?
Yeah,
I can read it,
Yeah,
I can't read this.
this list is
That's the email copy.
Yeah,
alphabetical.
this is too small. I forgot my glasses.
Well, actually, if
You
we
want me, I can read this.
Otherwise, I don't care what we get, as long as we get a selection of pines as part of that, and the biggest pines we can get.
I kind of like a Norway spruce myself.
I love
Not Norway, I suggest we get all native.
I would
Yes.
agree
Oh,
with that.
Norway's not
Strongly
native.
suggest.
no, it is not native, yeah.
Norway,
Alright.
spruce is not native.
Why they're
I don't
native,
think
they're
Virginia
Norway,
pine
and this
is
is sort of like
native.
Norway in the winter.
It is.
Yeah.
White pine is definitely native.
Yes,
Okay.
and there's
How about
red
some-
cedar,
How
there's
about
red
some
cedar.
red pine and white
Where
pine?
is red cedar?
Yep,
Northern white cedar, I'm sorry,
Where is it?
down, the last page of the eye test.
No, if it's not on this order
Oh.
sheet, it's not available.
Okay.
I say we delegate this decision to Laura and Mary, and they can decide on which trees us to get and just make sure they're ordered. And
Well, if I could make another request,
Or
I think
Betsy.
sycamore trees are nice shade trees.
They're beautiful.
I think
Yes.
we should definitely get
That's a favorite
sycamores.
of mine, sycamore, and it's an Indiana tree.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How about
Sycamores,
How about persimmon? It's an
pines.
unusual choice, but one year,
Yeah.
maybe next year we don't, but
Sure.
I'm fine with persimmon.
We have to have an oak in there too somewhere, right?
A couple people ask for pawpaws.
They're gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
everybody
never
wants
mind.
I don't think there's.
I would love to get pawpaws.
I think they had pawpaw in one of the bundles.
No sweet gum.
They had
No
pawpaws
sweet gums.
originally.
Mm.
Okay, but that's
yeah,
not.
but pawpaws in the wildlife bundle.
So if they don't have any, they just don't
Why
have it in the
not
bundle.
sweet gums?
Well,
Because they
tulip
drop
tree
sweet
is the
gums
state
all over
tree
the place,
of
and then people
Indiana.
don't
Excellent
realize that's
choice.
what they're
It's
buying.
Those are good ones.
They
Fine.
become
It's not on this
They
list,
attract
Okay.
lunar moths.
so I think it's wrong.
I can't believe they have
Oh.
silver maple on this
Here.
list.
You're right.
This
I
is
think
the
we should have a
recent
condition that
thing.
anybody who gets a free seedling has
This
to
is the
take it
online,
home. They will go out and
Here's
cut down
white
and
pine I
treat it
see
heavily.
up here.
Yeah, we should get
There's
some
two
of
things
those.
of white pine.
What
There's
about-
the 3-year and the 2-year. Jim is for the 3-year, I'm for the 2-year. Maybe we should get both.
Well,
Okay.
tell you the truth, I'm not wild about too many shrubs.
No, I'm not.
No.
They're all gone too, I think.
Well, there's shrubs on here.
Is this something that could be
This is
worked
the
out?
printed
and
list and,
I've got
they're on here.
Somebody
The
can
shrubs.
make an
Oh,
example
sure,
of
that's
this.
straightforward.
So where do you see that they don't have any?
I am wrong.
Yeah, these are just marked, they're low on stock, but not out.
I am wrong.
What's the dot mean?
The dot means they're low on stock. but not out.
Okay, I was gonna say the Shumard oak, I planted a couple of those and they
I don't know
are,
if they've got that on the list.
it's got a
It says Shumard.
asterisk
Yes.
and a
Okay,
dot.
okay.
Yeah, this is the
But
online.
they,
so
it's
that's
a,
relevant today.
becomes a very tall tree. But it's, as oak trees go, it's a champion.
Okay, I'm open to that. I think getting some shrubs is good for some people because they want smaller things. I say not the red bud, which might be done anyway.
Yeah,
I like the idea of 9-bark or hazelnut or both.
Hazelnut sounds great.
Hazelnut, and then what about American plum?
Yeah, I saw that on there too. I thought that would be interesting.
Deciduous small
It's a
tree.
very small.
Okay, are we up to 7? 1, 2,
Wait a
3,
minute,
4,
I think
5, 6.
those, unless I'm wrong, that those two that you named are only available in the package.
so,
Because they're not on this list.
Okay,
okay.
Unless you see them, I'm not
I see
seeing them.
9-bark right here.
Okay,
I see common chokecherry. I'm not seeing hazelnut.
I don't see any serviceberry.
I don't see it
No,
anywhere.
Well, if something is not available, I would take any one of these oaks.
Hazelnut is, I think it's part of the nut packet.
Mhm.
And it's part of, I think it's part of the wildlife packet.
Yeah, definitely. I've planted a few and the wildlife get most of them.
The wildlife packet costs $70. It has 160 trees in it. There's 16 species, 10 each.
Seems like a bargain.
Yeah. Well, you might have to call them and say what's going on and what do
We
you
could
got?
try for it, because that actually includes pawpaw.
Yeah,
10 pawpaw.
I like that idea a lot.
I know.
For it.
Yes,
Can
we need those
either of you do that? Order our trees before the end of this weekend?
Yeah.
I can do it tonight.
Excellent.
Don't you want to check on them in the office? You know, you want to make,
What office?
I thought you were going to call to see if they have.
No, I thought
Do it
was
online.
online.
All right, yeah. Okay, so I think we might be there. So 1 wildlife packet.
Sycamore,
Sycamore trees.
Sycamore,
Yeah.
Shumard,
yes.
Pine,
where is it?
Or any oak that's available.
Okay.
an oak, a
Persimmon.
pine.
Persimmon,
And which white pine are we getting? The big one or the little?
Big ones.
Let's ask for the big ones, and if we don't get those,
Okay.
you know what, if we pick them up ahead of time, maybe I could take some of them and put them in pots. And that would have, that way we wouldn't have to worry about people just throwing them into the back of their garage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you ever wonder how many of those spare root get planted?
yeah.
160. 230. We want to go for 2 wildlife patches.
That's what I was thinking, I was exact same thought, 2 wildlife patches.
You know, I'm just gonna trust your judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we still debating about the age of the pine trees we want?
No, we're going with that big ones.
Yeah.
I'm choosing my battles and that's not
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
I disagree, but I'm,
You'll live with
I'll
the
live.
majority.
I live with Jim's majority.
yeah.
Okay, so
Allows
have we got our,
Well, we're up to 300, plus there's a $10 order fee. I'm kind of wondering if we should stick another oak in there.
hopes are always
Sure,
good.
sure. Red oak,
Red
those,
oak is-
red oaks,
yep.
there's a dime a dozen, you should definitely get some of those. Chinkapin oak is one of my favorites. That's a little
Yeah.
smaller, little narrower than,
Yeah.
so for homeowners with small yards, it's an excellent choice.
Chink, chink, chink. Oh, that's the one that I think is sold out. One of the
Probably.
many that are
Like
sold
those.
out. How big is a chestnut oak?
Not seen one, but they're,
So,
oh yes, I have seen one. It's the size of most oak trees.
Okay. Black oak?
Black oak, I don't think is one of the favored ones.
No.
Bur oak is a really tough tree.
That's gone.
That's gone.
I think so.
chestnut oak gets mature height 50 to 100 feet.
Well, okay.
Okay, well, I think you're in good hands here, we should move on to the
Yeah,
next item.
just,
Okay.
you'll find out which ones are available, which ones
I'm
aren't.
just curious if you
You
wanna talk
want these,
it
do you
over.
want these sheets
You
back?
can keep them.
No,
All right,
you can
I'll
keep
keep
those.
them.
I have to wait a minute.
Okay,
Cherish.
What's next?
We're gonna talk about the grant next, I think.
yep. So, community grant, we received, our trees a couple of weeks ago. They were planted Saturday, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago Saturday. So we delivered 10 trees to the Michigan City Park Department who have planted them around the parks. I have not received the photos of those planting locations yet. I have jumped on Park Department employees several times and, I'll get them tomorrow. So I better have them tomorrow morning or I will jump on my sister again about them. So yeah, we had a good turnout, enough volunteers to deal with the 9 trees. We got it done
Excellent.
within 3 hours, I think, start to finish, getting the trees planted. And had, as Jim mentioned earlier, we had enthusiastic owners of the adjacent properties who are all they're willing to do their duty and take care of these trees. So I promised the community tree grant. I got Jen Birchfield that I would get her photos of our plantings, so I will get those sent out when I come back from Raleigh next week. Any comments or anything from you, Jim, as a volunteer planter?
No, it was fun.
When I follow up on the plantings, assuming I can find them all, if there's something that is amiss, should I take a picture of that?
Yes.
Because, we might choose to, okay. But if it looks beautiful, I'll just
Make it so, it's good, yep.
Look at least one picture of a beautiful tree.
For Facebook.
Okay.
Okay,
You'll notice in the pictures that Tim took that I was in every one of them because I was so involved with the planting and teaching.
Okay, I
Every
need to,
time I brought
I
the
need
camera
to
out,
get
somebody
going,
was
so
voting.
let's get, I want to talk about the $1 million grant.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Tree City designation, who will do it now?
Well, Deli has sent me some links and things like that, so I'm fine to, you know, head that, and I will ask for advice as needed if everyone's okay with that.
Is that a year-to-year thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Arbor Search Committee recommendation, we need to have a executive session to do that,
No,
so.
we don't. We have to do it in a public meeting to move that we recommend to Board of Works.
Yeah,
That
but
has to be,
once we make a decision, then we'll have a public meeting and do the recommendation, but we haven't.
Have to have a discussion about it
The
first.
candidates.
Well, at the end of our last executive session, you were gonna get back to us about whether a certain additional individual was applying or not.
And I have not seen that application,
okay, so I have a potential motion.
okay?
Let's see. I move that we, can I say a name?
How about the number?
Yeah,
Remember the numbers?
Yes, I remember.
It was your idea to make-
Except I don't,
You could refer to it as first person interviewed, second person interviewed.
Well, okay, I think I might have, some of these numbers here.
He was the first person interviewed.
The first person interviewed was, person number 2,
Yes.
and the second person interviewed was person number 1.
so I move for recommending person number 2. For the
To-
Is the
position.
first one interviewed?
And you're recommending them to the mayor's office for hiring or for interviewing?
Yeah, for the Board of Works.
to the Board of Works.
Board of Works is the next
Yeah.
decision maker.
Yeah.
I just want to, so the first person interviewed, who is person number 2.
Yes,
Correct. Yes.
Right,
Do I
and
have a second on that?
second.
and I think we have to say the name. Unless, but if we're
I don't
gonna have a
think so.
I don't
discussion.
think we
to
did
say
do
the
it this
name.
time yet.
But
I think
I can
it'll-
say
it'll be
why, I
announced.
can say why I would recommend this person.
You have the floor.
Because he's a certified arborist with years of experience
Yes,
in many different
yes.
areas of tree care.
What about talking to his, does he have references? Have you spoken with his references? Has anybody spoken with his references?
I have not.
Well, he did say that he worked for Brian Mann at the Tree Man.
Yes.
I understand, but if
And
you,
Brian Mann thought enough of him to help him become
but
a
if,
certified arborist.
but if you're gonna, if you had a business and you were gonna hire somebody for a business and pay them the salary.
I would
that
talk
the
to
city-
Brian Mann.
You would talk to their references before you made them a job.
Right, and nobody gave us, I didn't get references on the resume, there weren't any.
Well, then I think my position would be that they need, any applicant for this position has to give us references. And somebody on this board needs to talk to those people before making a recommendation on anybody to be hired. Now, it could be that the personnel department has done that, human resources, but I doubt it. Could be that the mayor's office is gonna do that, but I doubt it.
I think it's a personnel job.
I think
HR.
they should have done it or be doing it.
But we're the ones that are passing on, are these people qualified? And are they the sort of people that we want in that position, knowing what we think that position will be doing?
I did check out this guy's arborist number, and he is, his qualifications are current.
Well, that's kind of a low bar there.
All right,
Okay,
well, the
well-
other guy wasn't a certified
No.
arborist at all.
No, there
With
was.
very limited experience.
I'm not saying
The
that,
first one.
I wasn't there, Betsy, so I
Okay.
can't say, I'm gonna abstain from the vote
Yeah.
because I wasn't there and I haven't
All
met
right.
any of these guys. But it just strikes me that, you know, before anybody gets offered a job, we ought to check them out, or somebody needs to check them out to see, is this, you know, like, does he have one guy on one other person on this earth who will say, he's a really good hire, you know?
Good point, Jim.
Okay, I
Yes,
have,
hold on,
I have a motion and a second. Do I have a rescinding of the second and the motion?
I rescind the motion.
I do not rescind anything.
Okay, So we have, so the motion
So
has
you're
been,
firsting them.
the motion has been brought to the floor and seconded. So do we have a vote on the motion?
I abstain. I was not at the interviews.
Okay,
I abstain as well.
that's why I sent you those little.
And what are we looking for here? Because I did, after the votes were given, I did say that the second, no,
Right,
number two.
you had a
first
different
interview.
impression than,
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a different impression or
No,
the
no,
same
no.
impression?
I had a positive impression of number two, first interview.
Me too.
Consistent with Betsy's.
Very consistent.
Yep, we were all.
Mine was very consistent.
And I will say, as far as calling the references, I mean, and that's been part of the discussion, and some that came up during the public discussion today, is confusion, at least on my part, of what HR does.
Right.
You know, and how quickly. But, you know, what they're supposed to do and what we're supposed to do as far as sending out notifications and letters and all of that. So that's,
I mean, somebody,
I'm not clear on that. And so I'm not clear on if HR has called references or if they should or will.
well, I don't think HR is the people to do that anyway, because they don't know what we're
Personnel.
looking for in this position. And I seriously doubt that they did. Now, they may do a
What we're doing,
background check.
Jim, is moving this to Board of Works. Board of Works will also have a discussion with the candidate. We're just giving them our recommendation for a person that came in, met the requirements
Okay,
that we
I
need,
hear that.
and that goes to Board of Works, who then moves it forward if they so desire.
I think that's a good
of
strategy.
putting it that way.
That's punting it down the road.
That's what we do. That's our
That's our
position is to
job.
do. We punt it to the next,
We don't have a lot more power than that.
no.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And I have no
We have
problem
very little.
I don't
punting this candidate to the next level.
Right, because it's not our job to hire them.
No.
It's our job to recommend
Recommend
them.
it, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And based on all the discussion I had with that candidate, I appreciated every one of his answers. So I will vote to move that forward too. And I believe that's 4.
Well, we have to, let's see, if I rescinded my motion,
But she didn't rescind her
she
second.
didn't,
choice.
so she will now.
She'd have to rescind first and go back to you.
And I will second your motion.
All right, make me the motion.
Yes.
Yeah, she's at the motion, I'll have the second.
All those in favor of moving this candidate forward to Board of Works, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries 4-0. All right,
We should probably count.
2 abstentions.
With 2 abstentions.
Oh, 2 abstentions, yeah.
All right, Betsy, if you could draft up a recommendation letter to the Board of Works for me to send out next week on this candidate. Because I'm not gonna be able to do it tomorrow before I leave.
Who at the Board of Works am I addressing?
Just to the Board of Works, it doesn't have to be
Okay.
any particular.
All right, I'm gonna rely on you to know where to send it.
Yeah,
I'll just send the,
it'll be an email I'll just send to all the Board of Works members, including the
okay.
mayor.
So I'll
Board of
send,
We'll
Works.
send it to
send it to Tim.
Yeah.
Do you want, anybody want to be CC'd on that, or you know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
I get your point,
Yeah.
Jim, about the references. I wouldn't know who to call, I mean, other than,
You have to
he didn't
ask
give us
the mayor.
permission to, he didn't give us
Right.
permission to
I think
call
it should be an absolute requirement. Anybody who applies for this job with this board needs to give us references. And somebody needs to follow up with that,
Well, we
because
should
I
be-
think, once you hire somebody, it is hard to get rid of that employee from the city.
Makes it
And what if this guy,
easy.
if this guy turns out to be not as great as you think he might be, have you done our due diligence?
Have you ever given anybody a bad reference for yourself?
Absolutely.
I have,
Yeah.
What do you
But
mean,
not
for
in writing.
myself?
For any position you were looking for, did you give any, this guy hates me, I'm gonna give him,
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna give them my as a reference.
Yes, but I think
No,
it's.
you give the people who like you as a reference, so they're gonna
We
say,
need
they
to
don't.
Well, of course, but when you talk to people.
okay,
I think we've made the motion, we've moved
Right.
and
Yeah,
it's
that's
been
passed.
approved.
Yes, okay.
And if we can, I would like to move on to the next item of discussion. I'm not able to stay too much longer.
Okay,
We don't have any arbor support, so.
Correct.
Okay, do we have any old business? Old business, hearing none. New business.
There it is.
And the new business that I would like to talk about is our USDA Forest Service grant,
Yay.
Yes.
which we received. And I have here what was sent and printed out for everybody, which are basically the guidelines. We need to set up a meeting with Mr. Hart from the Forest Service, National Forest Service, to talk about how we're going to get our grant administered and funding transferred.
it's true.
And it sounds like you wanted to meet with us and the city
Yes.
to coordinate it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, I told him in an email today, because I just got an email from him, that we are having the meeting tonight and that we will talk about it and try to set up something with him as soon as we can possibly do that. So
Sounds good.
I need to know probably next week what anybody's available. I want to talk to the city tomorrow, mayor's office or controller, and see when they're available, that we can all meet here or at City Hall to talk about the administration of receiving this wonderful $1 million grant that we got from the Forest Service through ARPA funds.
And I think that's terrific news, first of all, just to acknowledge it. That's wonderful and it's life-changing for a lot of people and it's gonna be a fantastic boost for Michigan City. And we just need to coordinate it and,
And one of the things I know that Drew will want to talk about is the reduction of our budget that was in the application, because we did not get our full request.
correct.
So I'm gonna keep the.
Oh, we
that one.
didn't?
We did not. We,
You got one.
218,000 less than what we requested.
So 1.2 million was
That's
1
our,
million.
that's a copy of our
We can
original
live with that.
application.
I think so.
Okay.
Even paperclip version.
Would you like to do that, I think we should talk about our availability now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially you, Mary, now, since
Yeah.
you've
I'm back now.
gotta go.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we do this third weekend, the week of the 23rd of October?
That seems way late.
It does seem way late. We
I
need
think
to
it should
do
be next
fast.
week.
Yes.
Okay,
And does it need to be during the, after 4 o'clock or can it be during the
It
day?
can be during the day.
Okay.
yeah, Drew's office is in Michigan City, I
Yeah.
believe.
Is it?
I've known him for
I thought it was
years.
Chicago. Oh,
No, he hangs out in Chicago a lot.
I'm not available Wednesday morning, the entire morning.
So since this is not an official meeting in any capacity, can it be a Zoom link for this perhaps?
I think we can probably work that out, yes.
Or maybe even a FaceTime?
Yeah, because we're not making any decisions on the board, it's just
Right.
talking about how to
Informational.
administer
Yeah.
this grant, which is open to anybody to know about, so.
And I should say, I'm not available Monday, because Meals on Wheels and other stuff.
Can't do Monday anyway.
And Monday is a holiday and the office is closed.
Oh, Leif Erikson Day.
Yes, or
Um,
Pocahontas Day or whatever indigenous.
Okay,
people
let's
wanna have.
We don't use that word
focus
anymore.
Tuesday afternoon, or Wednesday afternoon,
Never said
or
Wednesday.
anytime Thursday or
You're
Friday.
talking about
I'd like
18th,
the movie.
19th, or 20th?
No, I'm talking about
My
next.
kids like
Oh,
those.
gosh.
The 12th is fine with me.
12th in the morning or early afternoon is fine with me.
Yeah,
I'm
but
better
let's,
on Friday.
let's have a couple of days, because we're gonna need to make sure that the city offices are available and that.
Friday will work for me,
Right.
afternoon is better, but I can do morning if this.
Okay, if we meet in the morning on the 12th, I can do that.
Morning of the 12th.
Morning of the 12th or Friday, did it,
I don't know. I think you should schedule without regard to me, and if I can, I will tune in, but I won't be here physically.
did you say Friday morning or all day Friday's okay for you?
Friday is possible, I prefer afternoon, but I can follow up with my morning if I need.
Okay, so Thursday
13th.
morning or Friday
Friday
afternoon?
afternoon, okay.
Is that okay for you?
So the 12th or 13th of October.
Thursday, I'm only available in the morning.
Okay, so Thursday morning or Friday afternoon?
Anytime
Friday afternoon.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
We're gonna give them a couple dates, are both of
Yeah,
those
yep,
available?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, those are the two dates that I will talk to Drew about tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
Get back in the office.
I could do Friday morning if that's necessary.
We've only got PM for some people, so.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay,
Do we know if any other communities in this area?
LaPorte got $1 million.
Oh, good for them.
How much did they ask for?
I do not know what their application was,
Okay.
for, but nobody got their ask.
We wrapping up here?
Yeah, believe that's what I've got, so I wanted to be sure that everybody gets a chance to look through this, because it
Fantastic.
talks
Okay,
pretty
we'll
much about what we need to do and how we
do
need to
that
do it.
before our
And,
meeting.
did everybody get that letter, the email from Amber? Amber LePage, the city attorney, who there was about how we as a tree board can't receive the money?
Yeah.
Okay, it was sent to everybody.
That-
Okay, maybe not
Tell that
everybody
to
got
me
it.
again.
Let's see if I can
I
find it.
didn't see that, but
Okay.
Can't receive the
Makes
money.
sense.
We do not have the legal authority as a board to
I see.
receive.
Oh, we
the money.
can't receive the money. It'll go somewhere in
It
the
has to
city.
go to the city, right?
I understand that.
that
I
makes
didn't think
sense.
you were gonna.
I don't want $1 million.
No, no. Well, it's not coming all at one time, so,
Right.
but no, legally, it has to be,
As long as,
controller of the city.
wherever it goes, as long as they don't
For
spend it
Jim
on
and Dennis,
something
you
else.
got,
Yeah.
that's that email that gives the information on the grant acceptance.
Okay, where the hell can I find it?
Is this fair to say this is the first time the tree board of Michigan City has ever gotten a significant money grant?
I believe that's probably the case, but
In our many
Oh,
years?
you are the senior member.
When we had foresters, we didn't have to become involved in the process.
Right, that's true.
So I don't
No.
necessarily, I can't, I mean, there was a big project when they redid Elston Grove and they planted a whole bunch of trees. I don't know how much the tree board was involved
Yeah.
with that at that time. Cause I wasn't on it.
Thank you for your patience.
Sure.
Okay, so are we through the agenda here?
I wanted to read that, but my phone is just circling and circling and circling.
Ah,
Do you have it,
Which,
the email from Amber?
oh,
I meant to print it out before I came, and I totally spaced it off until we get right here.
I don't recall getting
Can we use
that.
this
No,
grant to
I would
pay?
oh yeah, I think
The nice
so.
Christmas
This
party.
is from a while ago.
As long as
Yeah,
we're
it is
doing it
a
as an
Oh, do not
educational
incur costs until you
thing for the
receive a
community,
copy.
yes.
Co-signed
Of course,
Word
okay.
document.
So work that out, and we'll do it.
Just kidding.
so I can't even find my.
So Amber said,
Oh, do you have it?
yeah, Tim, I'm sorry, one more thing. If the city is awarded this grant, please do not immediately sign anything. And we haven't,
We haven't.
you know, the signature should come from the mayor.
Okay.
And then you said absolutely, and then
Yeah.
she said one more thing, let's see.
I don't know why I can't,
Do have a copy of the fully submitted application. We will need that and all other information.
which we all have a copy of now.
Yeah, and she does as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I know the controller's office definitely needs a copy of the grant. How will city be provided the notice of award, email or hard copy? Just trying to figure out who at city should be on the lookout for this in August. Well, it was delayed.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So I
And then
will,
you had said, I will let the mayor, you and Yvonne know when I hear anything.
yeah, and
And Amber is the,
Amber's the city attorney.
okay,
That the session that they had on the 27th, the Suburban Community Forester, the webinar, I got the email from Drew 15 minutes after it started.
yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to have at least a day's notice, but I looked at the time of his email and the time that this was gonna be, and it
Can
was,
they send that, can they repeat that somehow? Or was it a live thing?
it was
Somebody
live on
was
September
recorded.
27th, but
Oh, I mean, was it recorded?
if you wanna, that's basically what they went through at the, I mean, those are just the plates for the session, the webinar, so.
Yeah, this doesn't say
No, it doesn't
much.
say much at all. So I don't know if that's available as a recorded
That's okay.
meeting or not. If it is, I will find it and forward it to everybody, but I couldn't find it today. I didn't. I actually had to work some today, so I
Okay,
All right, is there any other,
next
new
meeting?
business? Any other new business?
next
Any other
meeting's
new-
November 1st?
Yes.
Very good.
Do I have any comments from board members?
None?
None at this time.
None at this time.
Well, I just want to say, I think it's a great thing that we've got this grant, and I echo Mary's comments about it. It's going to be a really good thing for the city, and I think it's a tremendous achievement, and it's going to really be a big deal.
It is. I was very happy that I was able to work with our previous candidate who actually was hired for a little while to get this thing done. It was sad that she was terminated right at the end of this, so I managed to pull everything together the last 4 days and get it in, and
Thank you.
lo and behold, we got it.
Congratulations all
So,
around to
Yeah,
those
thank you
that
for
worked on it.
all of you.
Yeah.
So we got
but I had a good base to work with from Nicole Messacar, so Nicole, thank you.
So we will be very busy.
Yes, yes
We'll be very
indeed.
busy. All right, anything else from any board members? Hearing none, our next meeting is Wednesday, November 1st, right here in this wonderful building, and do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
A
Second.
We're out of here,
Thank
let's
you.
go.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
So
Thank you.
who's gonna phone